This is a week's worth of menopause meal prep that'll take less than 30 minutes to prep and minimal cooking. Plus, this is gonna have 100 grams of plant protein, so you will have no problem hitting that target for peri and post-menopause. Now, this is the exact same method that helped Julie, who's a very busy teacher, lose 60 pounds without spending hours and hours prepping her whole food plant-based recipes in the kitchen. So if you want the shopping list and all of these recipes, just click the link in the description. Now let's get to no cooking. We ain't cooking in this video. But first, I want to explain just a few key points so you understand how this method actually works. So the first is going to be minimal cooking. Now, I personally do not have time to cook during the week, and majority of our clients don't either. But they don't want to go out and get junk food or processed food. So what I've kind of come up with is some certain products that are staples. If you click the link in the description and get the list and recipes, I did put in a lot of substitution. So for example, this Plant Strong sauce. This is an amazing sauce. All you need to do is add water to it. But if you can't afford it or you can't get it in your area, then there are substitutions. Second is this method is based around my blueprint. You're probably like, Rose, what is this blueprint? So you know how Dr. Greger has his daily dozen, which is the list of 12 foods to eat for optimal health and longevity. I have my blueprint, which is a list of 8 foods to eat to tick the boxes you need for menopause. Because as you know, in menopause, when your hormones change, you can't just eat what you want plant-based. You have to be tactical. You have to plan your plant-based diet around your hormones. So if you follow my blueprint, you're gonna be able to get the right amount of protein from whole grains, from beans and legumes, from nuts and seeds without going over your calories. Very important. And then the third thing, which follows the blueprint, is flexibility. So with this blueprint, you're not stuck in this rigid, oh my gosh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that mentality. We want to get away from that mentality. The blueprint is flexible because if you are going out to get pizza, that's what I did last weekend. If you are going to a barbecue, if you're going somewhere that's not going to have your normal food, you have a way to flip-flop, almost like playing Tetris or putting a puzzle together that's interchangeable. So with the blueprint, you can plan out your fun events and still stay on track. So stay to the end of the video because I'm gonna walk you through step by step how to do that. And then number 4 is the sequence. We are gonna be prepping the things that take the longest to make first, so it might go a little out of order. But be sure again to hit the link in the description, get the shopping list, the recipes, because I typed this out very clearly. Let's get to the first thing. So for breakfast, I wanted to show you this option. It's a very no-cook option. It's a protein bar. So I found this protein bar recently and I am obsessed with the brand and the ingredients because it's very hard to find. Now, I just want to put a disclaimer in that you do not have to have protein bars. But what I find is a lot of our clients are so busy, they are running out the door, they're taking care of kids, taking care of parents, that they skip breakfast. And when you skip breakfast, what happens is your body is staying in this fight or flight mode, your cortisol levels will be high, and it's gonna make it a lot harder to lose fat. If you get a good source of protein in before 11 a.m., and if you also delay your coffee a little bit, you are gonna help reset your circadian rhythm and make it a lot easier to lose fat. So this is an option if you just have no time. But like I said, click the link in the description because I have the perfect overnight oats recipe that ticks all the boxes if you don't want to use a protein bar. But this bar has pea protein in it, it has all clean ingredients, and it has the perfect ratio of protein, and it's gonna keep you full for at least 3 to 4 hours because some of these protein bars or shakes or just some breakfasts will make you full for a little bit and then your stomach's growling at 10:30 and you're like, come on, I got an hour and a half for lunch. So this is the birthday cake flavor. I'm not a sponsor. I just like to show you the brands that I love, and I have a bite of it left. We can do a taste test together. I was nibbling on it as I was prepping for this video. The packaging, you know, it's simple. So you know how sometimes when you have packaging that's so enticing, you're gonna wanna just keep eating it. This really, you know, it's all right. And if the raw people are watching this, you know, don't come after me for saying it. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Okay, the New Jersey accent is coming out now. I'm getting warmed up. So I literally have this one little bite left. I don't know if you can see, but it is delicious. It's cashew butter based and it's so good. Texture is amazing. You can put it in the refrigerator so it's nice and cold, almost like fudge. So for a protein bar, I'm gonna give it a solid 9.2 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if it was just a little bit thicker. So breakfast is out of the way. We're gonna go to lunch. We are going to make my seitan. I also am gonna give you the recipe to my protein buns, which is a lot more popular, in the link in the description if you get my shopping list and recipes. So make sure to head there and get them. So this is Vital Wheat Gluten. You can buy it on Amazon. I get the one from Anthony's. It's non-GMO organic, and you can actually go and buy seitan at the store. So if you're like Rose, even just combining flour and water is too much for me, you can go get it at the store. And you're gonna wanna cook this first because it's gonna take the longest.
So in a large bowl, combine the Vital Wheat Gluten. You also can add chickpea flour if you want to have it a little bit more softer texture, nutritional yeast, spices of choice. That was just a steak blend that was oil-free, coconut aminos, and then add the same ratio of water. Get it nice and mixed until it forms a little bit of a dough. I don't like mine super chewy, so if you want it to resemble meat, you can knead it a little bit here. Then what you're gonna do is take a cooking pan and press it into cutlet shapes. I did 5, so every single day of the week I will have a cutlet, and I ran out of parchment paper, so I had to use some olive oil, which I don't love.
We also have the oven preheated because we're gonna prep our potatoes. These are gonna be in the oven while the seitan or the buns are cooking, and we're gonna keep these for the week in the refrigerator and just throw them into our lunch salad.
Potato time! So I will wash my potatoes, dry them, then poke holes in them, and I will roast them whole for, if they're Japanese sweet potatoes where they're white inside, I roast them for 2 to 3 hours, but these cook a little bit faster on 350.
So everything is still in the oven cooking. We're gonna massage our kale. I love doing kale salads for lunch because it keeps for the 5 days and it's not gonna get soggy or mushy. So you're just gonna take a bowl, you're gonna take kale, a lemon, and a little bit of nutritional yeast, and we are gonna get down and dirty and massage it. So these are Rose's famous kale salads. What you're gonna do is just dump all of that into a bowl. I love kale because it will stay for the entire week without getting super soggy. Just take a kitchen scissor. I once had a bad experience chopping it with a knife, so scissor is my thing. Squeeze some lemon, nutritional yeast, and then go to town. Literally set aside 10 minutes and massage for that long. That's how long it's gonna take until it's nice and soft and tender, and it's gonna be great for the whole week. Then you can take 5 containers. I love this size container, and you can separate them and add some pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are awesome for a vitamin E boost, which can help decrease your inflammation. And then of course you can add anything else into the salad. Just keep the cutlets and the dressing separate. You can also do tofu and beans, and I love doing pickled veggies, awesome for gut health. And then for dinner, we are doing mush bowls. Mush bowls is the term that I coined. That's basically throwing things together and putting a yummy sauce. So 2 options for mush bowls. So we can do a bean-based pasta. I don't love this brand, but it's the only thing I had. Or we can do miracle noodles. So you can do a bean-based pasta if you can have a lot of carbs left over, or miracle noodles. So for example, if you had pizza for lunch at work, you can do miracle noodles and a lot of veggies because they don't have carbs, but you can do this if it's a normal dinner. So I'm not gonna show you exactly prepping this because I like doing pasta fresh in a small little pot, but what you can do is take frozen veggies, And then I love this fava bean tofu. It's gonna have 32 grams of protein for less than 200 calories and 0 fat. And then you can do any kind of sauce with it. So I love this Good Foods queso sauce. And then we can also do the Plant Strong peanut sauce and make peanut noodles. And you can really have any variety of sauces in your kitchen. If you click the link in the description, I'm gonna show you a week's worth of sauces from just pantry staples that you can make. So if you're someone that you're like, Rose, I'm not like you, I can't eat the same things every single day, then you can just switch the sauces at night and basically have a totally different flavor profile while still being able to be consistent. I'm not going to show you the full prep for this just because I like just cooking things a little bit fresher, but if you want to separate it into containers, this is how you can do that.
So when I was working corporate, I would just throw frozen veggies into my little container and they would be thawed by the time I would eat dinner in my car. So this is such a great hack for when you are in a pinch and you don't want to roast veggies. These are miracle noodles, or you can use bonza noodles if you want more carbohydrates in there, and just separate them into 5 containers. And then I'm adding in fava bean tofu because it has 0 fat, and the whole block has 64 grams of protein for less than 300 calories, which is actually bananas. So separate that into 5, and then like I was explaining, I like to keep them, I don't know why I use the word naked, but you can add different sauces in throughout the week to change it up.
Here's the breakdown of the blueprint and how you can make it flexible to fit whatever you're doing this summer, vacations, going out to eat, travel, and all of this. So first of all, I just want to make a disclaimer that up here where it says nutrition targets, these are your best friends in the menopause transition, because you can't do less anymore, it doesn't work, you have to be tactical. And these targets are different for every woman. So we have a lot of clients that come in, they have high levels of inflammation, even though they are eating days, and they have gut issues and underlying things. So a client of ours may not see weight loss for 4 to 6 weeks. You have to get that, or if they're coming in from a restrictive diet, you have to put that foundation first. So once you're able to take care of those underlying issues, then figure out your target, and it's smooth sailing, meaning you're going to be able to lose 1 pound to 2 pounds per week if you tick all the boxes. So starting out strong with fiber, this is going to have well over the average amount of fiber. Only 5 to 7% of total Americans get the RDA for fiber, and menopausal women need it. So that is amazing. And then our vitamin C, almost the target for vitamin E hit. We have, let's see here, calcium, very important. We have magnesium, that's going to help you sleep. We have selenium, we have zinc, we have 130 grams of protein. I did add in a few more foods here, such as broccoli, such as spinach, such as avocado, to help a little bit of these targets. And then we have our omega-3s. Those are the big ones. So with that being said, what you want to do, if you are going out, you're going, you look at your food and you can say, okay, I eat an indulgent of pizza. What do I need to tweak inside my day? So pizza is going to have carbohydrates. It's not going to have protein. So you're going to have to make sure that you hit your protein target before you eat your pizza. And then what you're going to do is tweak your carbohydrates and your fat. So let's say every morning at breakfast, you eat a banana. You can put that banana away to leave room. And instead of taking out the banana entirely, let's say make a smoothie, put frozen cauliflower. So you still have those balls. But you are saving those carbohydrates that's coming from the pizza. That's why it's really important to not eat the same things every single day if you want to, but have the same components, knowing that you're eating a fat, a protein, a carbohydrate at breakfast, or lunch, you eat these things, you eat rice, whatever it is, and then mix and match. So once you have these targets, it's pretty much, plug and play. Like imagine you're going for getting a wisdom teeth out, and the oral surgeon has to give you the right amount of medicine, the right amount of antibiotic, right? So once you have the right amount of science, it's going to work. You're not special, your metabolism is so good, it's not going to work. Figuring out these targets is number one, and then number two is learning how to actually stick with them. But moral of the story is I highly recommend to eat very similar things so that swapping going out to eat is more easier and not scrambling by the end of the day. But if you are curious on what your targets are, I invite you to book a complimentary roadmap call where I will go through with you myself and my coaches exactly what you're eating now, where the gaps are, where the disconnects are, and you are able to follow them when you're seeing some great results. So click the link in the description for that.
And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the method, and I'll definitely see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.